What's up, guys? This is Pat from MACkiteboarding.com talking today about the new Code Zero from North Kiteboarding. Alright, so the Code Zero from North Kiteboarding. What is it? Who's it for? What are you going to get out of it? Why should you consider buying this kite this year? So, it's a single strut foil kite, single strut leading edge inflatable foiling kite. Also surprisingly pretty good in the waves, but that being said, it is designed for that light wind foiling. So going with a single strut versus strutless or three strut, they went with a kind of weight savings there with a single strut. They are also using their brand new Dyneema that they developed this year. So lighter weight Dyneema, lighter weight bladder. So this really went after that weight savings. And you really notice that in those lighter winds with the low end on this kite. The light wind ability of this kite is pretty phenomenal. I was on a 9 meter the other day. We got some clips from that session we'll intermix in here. But 9 meter, about 12 knots, had absolutely no problem staying up on foil, relaunched like a dream every time I crashed it, which I happen to do a lot. Well, I never crashed it. Let's see how the relaunch is on this. I lost my board too, so it's gonna be good. Good test. Look at that, it's rolling right over. Oh, heck yeah. But that being said, relaunched me no problem every time. Really impressed with the light wind ability of this kite. Surprisingly a lot of power per square meter. So I probably would size down even on that day. Like if I could get out a 7 meter, I probably would have. We have a 9 meter available to us, but had no problem with 9 meter. Really good downline drift with it. You could run right at the thing, it would stay in the air and still was fairly reactive as far as turning and steering. No matter what you tried to do to get this kite fall out of the sky, it was really hard to get it to do it. Alright, let's see how the downwind drift is on this thing. See if we can make it fall out of the sky. See you riding right at her. Lost speed, but no, pretty good all things considered. It's really lightweight in the bar feel, so steering, I'd like to say it's a dampened feel, but it's still pretty intuitive as you know where the kite's at in the sky without having to look at the thing, which is really awesome with a foil kite. You can kind of focus on what you're doing with the foil more so and not have to worry about flying the kite. It's very mindless flying, really makes you want to fly it single-handed. Really just impressed with how this kite handled. Let's see here. Some other things I kind of noticed about the Code Zero. For a single strut, not too much flutter. I mean, obviously if you fully sheet out, it's gonna flutter at you. I mean, even 3 strut kites will do that. So for a single strut kite, pretty rock solid. And surprisingly enough, when we were over in Portugal at the North dealer meeting, a lot of guys are actually using this in the waves there. It did surprisingly well as a down the line wave kite. Granted, we're in a little bit offshore conditions there, so it does kind of lend to be a little bit more forgiving in the waves with that. But a lot of guys were loving it for that in those windier days. They were opting for this just as much as the carve that day from North. So it was really neat to see the ability to cross over with this kite. So yeah, you might be buying it as a foil kite, but you're buying that smaller size anyways, so it'll work in those higher wind conditions for surf kiting as well. So it really lends it to be more multi-purpose than just a foil kite. Yeah, in Portugal I didn't get it out in the waves myself, but everybody was raving about the thing in the waves. So I mean, a lot of the qualities that make a good foil kite make a good wave kite though. I think the one like this has up on those kind of 3 strut wave kites though is kind of the lightweight advantage for these lighter wind days. Who's this kite for? Really it's for any rider who's kind of looking to expand their foiling potential. It'd be a great first foil kite after you've learned to foil or even to learn to foil with. Really it's going to help you take your foiling game to the next level with a really stable kite that inspires a lot of confidence in your riding. I would toss anybody on this thing in a heartbeat. Really fun, really easy to use kite, dynamic flying, and really forgiving and stable. Yeah, the low end power of this thing, It has good power. You might have to loop it once to get up on foil in those really light wind conditions. I was on a 9 meter and around 12, 13 knots. Had absolutely no problem popping up on foil right away with it. So really good grunty low end power, but not a heavy bar feel at all. So it's creating that power without having that pull in the bar, which is kind of nice to feel and keeps that kite nice and light in the air and light feeling in the bar. So self-landing on this, it clamshell down fine, no problem. It lays flat on the beach. Some of those other foil kites that you're seeing, like the no struts or that, they have a little bit of bump up in the leading edge to help with that relaunch, and they can be a little bit tricky to get to sit on the beach well. But you don't have that with this, with being the single strut. It does lay flat in the water. That single strut helps keep that canopy up out of the water for your relaunching as well. So this has been Pat from MACkite talking about the new Code Zero from North Kiteboarding. If you want to check it out, we have more info on our website. The link will be in the description below. As always, if you have any questions, feedbacks, leave them down in the comment section. I'll do my best to get to them and try to answer anything I can down there.